Samsung launched its flagship smartwatch, the Galaxy Watch 3, alongside the Note 20 Ultra and has consequently resulted in many people calling it the best non-Apple smartwatch. In my 1 month or so with it, the Galaxy Watch 3 has definitely lived up to the hype. So let's discuss more in this review. Samsung has placed the Watch 3 somewhere in between the original Galaxy Watch from 2018 and the Galaxy Watch Active 2, at least in terms of the feature set. Compared to its predecessor, the Watch 3 is marginally more compact and lighter as well. We're talking about millimeters and a couple of grams here, which I know does not sound like a lot, but makes all the difference for something that's going to sit atop your wrist all the time. Everything is and therefore feels premium as we've come to expect. It has a stainless steel frame while the straps are made from premium leather material. There's also a more expensive Watch 3 with a titanium frame. Available in either 41 or 45mm variant with Wi-Fi only or LTE connection, you have the choice on whether you want compact or a large screen smartwatch. This year's signature color, Mystic Bronze, is confined within the smaller 41mm option, which is the one I have with me. In the international market, this variant retails for some $400, while Samsung charges an additional $50 for LTE connectivity. Anyway, if you remember last year's Galaxy Watch Active 2 that we reviewed, it had a digital bezel around the edge of the display for eased navigation. Well, the Watch 3 brings the superior physical rotating bezel instead. This dial sits slightly above the display and serves as somewhat of a protection mechanism to the display panel. There's a back and configurable home button on the right frame. A little below, you will see the singular microphone, whereas the big heart rate sensor sits comfortably at the bottom of the watch. Moving to the left, it has a speaker grill for playing music, making calls, and whatnot. As usual, the straps conform to the universal sizes. The 41mm option fits with any 20mm strap, and the larger 45mm leans on 22mm options. So if you have one lying around, you can easily give your Watch 3 a makeover. Samsung suggests you wear the Watch 3 fairly tight for accurate measurements, and I did accordingly. With this, there were instances where the sweat from my wrist would condense into dirt and stick on the base of the watch. As a result, I found myself having to clean it up every once in a while. Overall, the Galaxy Watch 3 is a really well-designed piece of tech, and in my use for around a month, this leather strap did not result in any kind of issues like skin allergy or any sort of irritation. It is also 580M IP68 rated and is MIL standard A10G compliant. And the latter has already proven its worth. I vividly remember a couple of instances where the Galaxy Watch 3 has bumped into a concrete surface pretty hard, and it has handled everything like a champ with no dents or scratches. Okay, let us now move to the display. Just like the Watch Active 2, it is available in 2 sizes, either 1.2 or 1.4 inches. This SuperAMOLED panel packs in a 360 by 360 pixels with 364 ppi. In terms of protection, Samsung has gone with the Gorilla Glass DX here, which is a downgrade from what we have seen on the Galaxy Watch Active 2, which had the Gorilla Glass DX Plus. So having the Gorilla Glass DX here seems like a silly downgrade, honestly. The display itself is excellent though. It is bright, it is sharp, has excellent colors, contrast, and supports always-on display too. Even in the sunniest of days, I did not encounter any trouble regarding visibility. You can choose between 10 levels of brightness, and there's also the auto brightness option. Now, Samsung says that there are over 50,000 watch faces available for the Watch 3, which is quite a lot, but frankly, most of them feel way too amateur to be deserving the watch face on such a premium smartwatch. Some of the default ones are really nice though, with the option to customize a bunch of them as well. Here you can change the color scheme, add widgets, etc. to certain watch faces. The one I like is the new Marble line, which displays the basic info like date, time, battery level alongside average heart rate and steps taken. You can also easily shift between or customize watch faces by long pressing the home screen on the watch and scrolling through them. Better yet, all these can also be done on the Galaxy Wearable app. But when it comes to navigation, the crown jewel of the Watch 3 is most certainly its rotating bezel. I would praise the digital touch bezels on the Galaxy Watch Active 2 for its efficacy, but this one is better by a mile. It rotates 360 degrees and scrolling through the UI, menus, etc. is just so easy and smooth because of this. In certain cases, like when shifting through the watch face edit menu in the watch itself, rotating the dial fast enough minimizes the icon sizes to fit more on the same screen, therefore allowing you to see more and scroll less. Anyway, you can still swipe through the display to get around the Watch 3, but it's way slower. The buttons on the side click nice and work like a charm too. While the back button is self-explanatory, the home button can be customized to trigger custom actions. In my case, long pressing the button launches Bixby, whereas double pressing it opens the list of recent apps. On the performance front, the Galaxy Watch 3 is powered by the same Exynos 9110 SoC, which can be found on the Galaxy Watch Active 2. While Samsung's previous smartwatches came with either 768 MB or 1.5 GB of RAM, they're keeping it real simple this time around by standardizing 1 GB of RAM for all variants of the Galaxy Watch 3. Similarly, the internal storage has been bumped to 8 GB as well. In most cases, the Watch 3 runs fine, although there were a few instances of annoying stutters. Keeping things topical, Samsung has also included a hand wash feature, which basically is just an app where you can record the number of times you've washed your hands in a day or start a 25-second timer. That is particularly disappointing, seeing how Apple introduced the automatic hand wash recognition system in its latest update of the watchOS 7. Similarly, Bixby is still terrible as ever, and I found it to be particularly slow at recognizing commands. But despite Bixby not being so good, I have liked how Tizen OS with its new One UI 2.0 has evolved over the years. Yes, the third-party app support is still not as good as the Apple's watchOS or Google's, but the One UI here on the Watch 3 is ridiculously well designed. The animations are great and the native apps run incredibly well. You can launch the Action Center by swiping down from the top for quickly turning on or off various functions like always on display, power mode, etc. All the notifications are neatly arranged on the left side of the home screen and are indicated by a little orange dot on the side. Likewise, the bottom of the screen shows the currently running action like a workout reminder or some open app like music player, Spotify, etc. That reminds me, Spotify comes pre-installed on the Galaxy Watch 3 and works perfectly fine here in Nepal, which was not the case with the Galaxy Watch Active 2. You can also stream music offline, but of course, it requires a premium account. Just like other Galaxy Watches, the notifications are fantastic too. You can choose to get notification from all or selected apps only, which is a handy feature. When connected to your phone, you can even make calls and messages independently from the watch itself. Disappointingly, you cannot make VoIP calls on the watch and it just directs you to use the phone for the process. Finally, I want to talk about a new feature on the Galaxy Watch 3, which is called trip detection. It is similar to Apple's fall detection, where the watch would notify the set emergency contact your location in case it detects that you've fallen and cannot get up. So, when it comes to fitness tracking, the Galaxy Watch 3 is loaded with them, 40 workouts to be exact. And if you're doing some intense work, like say for 10 minutes or more, it automatically detects them as well. For example, if you're playing futsal, it automatically detects it as a dynamic workout. By the way, I also recently received an 80 MB update which introduced blood oxygen, VO2 max monitoring, sleep score, and advanced running analysis with a few visual changes to the UI here and there. Also, viewing the workout details on the watch itself is great, which even shows you a mini map of the distance covered, although you have to use the Samsung Health app on your phone for much more detailed statistics and analysis. I was quite blown away by Watch 3's inbuilt GPS too. The GPS lock here is almost instantaneous and was spot on in every one of my tests. It does take up a lot of battery percentage, so unless you're working out, I would advise you to keep it shut. The Galaxy Watch 3 is also capable of measuring your heart rate, stress level, and even period tracking, which is really handy feature for women's health. You can also manually record other activities like water intake, calories eaten, etc. And with the recent update, one can also measure the blood oxygen level, which is a little tricky to get it working. One has to stay perfectly still with the hand near the heart level, otherwise it does not work. I measured at around 92%, which falls below the optimal reading of 94 to 99%, but that is not something alarming because only less than 90% is said to be low blood oxygen level, so that's nice. Likewise, Watch 3 sleep tracking is excellent too and tracked my time to bed and the time I woke up perfectly. Samsung also introduced something called Sleep Score in its latest update, which rates the quality of your sleep from 0 to 100. It is based on factors like total sleep time, sleep cycles, movements and awakenings, etc. And according to the app, the average score for men between 20 to 29 years of age is 82. And like other fitness watches, this one too reminds you to stand up and go for a walk if you have been sitting idly for a while. And for someone like me who is basically glued to a desk throughout the day, it really helps you remain active. The Galaxy Watch 3 also has an ECG sensor and a blood pressure monitor, which unfortunately is not paired with working software. In the US, FDA has verified the ECG sensor but not the other one. But I think Samsung will be able to roll out software updates to make use of these sensors very soon. Battery-wise, this 41mm variant is not as enduring as the 45mm variant because of its smaller battery capacity. In my usage, I got around 3 days of endurance with the always-on display off. However, we've talked more about the battery in different use case scenario in our detailed article review, which you can check from somewhere here. For charging, you get a wireless charging dock inside the box. And because smartwatches are a long-term investment, Samsung has been clever enough to implement a rather slow 5-watt charging support so as to preserve the battery health for years to come. With this, the comparatively tiny battery takes about 2 hours to fully charge. To conclude, the Galaxy Watch 3 is an excellent smartwatch that brings the beloved rotating bezel. Because of this, navigating through the watch is really easy. It is also well designed and has an excellent display. Although I would have liked a slightly faster performance, but then Tizen OS makes up for it. The health tracking works wonderfully well too. So all in all, the Galaxy Watch 3 reaches for perfection and is definitely one of the best options out there. So that was all for our full review of the Galaxy Watch 3. If you have any queries about this device, do let us know in the comments below. We will try to answer them all. Till then, I'm Pratibha Adhikari and thank you so much for watching.